a few thousand in this room who will testify that the same Jesus Christ has changed their life.
Kyle? Your response to any of those inquiries?
Are you with me? Okay. I think I would take a stab at the bubbles universe, the multiple universe, the contingency of that, and the real problem with that what you find is that when I put up my argument that the universe came into being, even if it was 17 billion years ago, that leaves too little time to evolve life on the Earth. And so a lot of scientists then are appealing to other, what they call science, but quite candidly, you'll have to admit they're no more credible than a blind leap of faith in God. If you do throw out a model that says we need multiple universes in order to create life, because any one universe needs to be so finely tuned as to pop into being so that life can be here in a very short period of time on whatever scale you use. It won't happen unless you appeal to multiple universes. But then you have what's called the gambler's fallacy, and that is that if a gambler were sitting in a room and watching a man toss a coin and he tossed it 10,000 times and it always came up heads, you have to ask the gambler, is he going to take a bid on the next toss that it's going to come up tails? And the gambler may say, well, yes, I will. And then you'll say, what are you basing that upon? If he says, well, it's because I believe that there were another 210,000 coins tossed outside of this auditorium. They had something different than these, and these all came up heads. I'm betting that puppy's going to come up tails. He's betting on a lot of different odds, and that's the problem with appealing to bubble universes, additional universes coming into being.
Michael, your choice of comments.
Are we on here yet? Okay, I think is this the young man here that asked the question?
No, he's
not. It's a great question. It's, gosh, if my 11-year-old asked that, this would be wonderful. Your brain is engaged. Because that is one of the hard problems. But the problem exists whether you have one universe expanding or multiple universes or even if there's a God. You just simply ask, well, what's beyond that? And we have the capacity to ask that, but we can't really answer it because in a way, the universe, when it's expanding, when the universe began and it's expanding, it's not expanding into anything. It is the space and time as it expands. It is everything. You can't even ask the question. It's like asking what's north of the North Pole. It's a nonsensical question. It's unfortunate, but it's true it's true if you're a theist too. What's beyond God? Who made God? These are infinite kind of questions that we can't really ask. And on the Christ body thing, and people gave their lives. I'm always amazed by this argument that the Christians use. I mean, look at Marshall Applewhite. He convinced 39 hardcore disciples to take their lives to go to the UFO behind Jupiter. By committing suicide. Jim Jones got 900 people to kill themselves, and so on. Followers do this. They're true believers. That's what true believers do.
Carbon dating?
The carbon dating was the... there are error bars in the carbon dating. It varies maybe about 10 to 12% on any given date, but it's fairly accurate. They've gotten much better at it now. You can use smaller samples. It's pretty accurate.
Dr. Hovind?
Carbon dating?
Carbon dating.
I think it's ridiculous. I think it was invented in 1950 with Willard Libet, University of Chicago, got a Nobel Prize for it, moved on to Stanford University. And way before that, in 1830, the geologic column was developed. Really, the way they tell the age of things is by which position they are in the geologic column. They date the fossils by which layer they come from. Then they turn around and date the layers by which type of fossils are found in them. Circular reasoning. We'll cover that tomorrow in the seminar if you want to come.
All right. Good enough. 3 questions.
Question mostly for Mr. Shermer, but for all three. What is your greatest motivation for being here, and what do you fear if you wouldn't have shown up today?
Okay. Yeah.
I think I'm particularly for Dr. Hovind, but the question I have is if the flood, the cataclysm in 40 days and 40 nights, if during that time he's going to put the trilobites up in Sedona and he's going to carve the Grand Canyon, did he do this to confuse us?
Good question.
Given the various errors that I have experienced in textbooks and, contrary to some comments tonight, and the omissions of contradictory information to the neo-Darwinistic theory, why shouldn't one believe that these textbooks are written more from a philosophical position rather than from a search for truth?
Michael, we'll start with you and move left.
Okay. Well, we kind of did the why we're here question because I'm curious, like to know. Thought I'd see the city where that has the team that the Lakers just beat last night. Just a gratuitous, just a little, yeah. Hey, but you had us scared for a while. Not just because it's fun stuff. Yeah, the Grand Canyon and all this, did God plant the fossils to confuse us? No, it was Satan testing your faith, whatever. Yeah, of course, obviously, this is a bit of a problem for believers. What do you make of all this evidence? Errors and omissions in textbooks, I kind of addressed that in my first part of my 10-minute thing. This is a problem, again, not for science. It's a problem for textbook publishing. Scientists weed these things out. You don't see these errors. They get weeded out very quickly. It's the scientists themselves. If you go to an evolution conference, you're not going to find like universal agreement about stuff. You should see these guys going at it. They have all kinds of great battles within evolutionary science. It's really a delight to see. It's nothing like what you think it is. As outsiders, you've never been to an evolution conference. Oh, they must have this sort of uniform religion-like agreement and everything. They don't. They fight over all kinds of things.
All right, Kyle?
I guess there was applause, but not very much. So you're going to have to do better next time.
Right.
Sorry. What were the questions again, please?
Okay, fire here, Grand Canyon, and errors and omissions.
Okay.
Any one of them.
Why anybody's here? That was specifically for you.
Yes.
Errors and omissions. I think I'm going to have to take the view that goes kind of with Michael's, and that is that you see that knowledge is a construction, that it's a product, that it's a moving target, it's constantly growing. This year's science is going to be something completely different in 200 years. We're going to look back and, I wish I put it up there, Jimi Hendrix